14 of the FIM Motocross World Championship, the MXGP of Czech Republic at Lokin. And in MX2 race 1, it was Jorge Prado who crossed the Foxhole shot line for the 16th time, closely followed by Henry Jacobi, Thomas Covington, Michele Chervelin, Calvin Vlaanderen, Jorge Geertz, Ben Watson. A few positions further back, Paul Jonas, who capitalised on the mistake as Jacobi spun up. That put him up into 5th position. A mistake, though, from Prado allowed Covington through on his Rockstar Energy Husqvarna on lap 3. Chervelin also made a mistake, and that allowed the number 10 of Calvin Vlaanderen through for Team HRC into 3rd. Jonas had some work to do, but eventually found his way past Chervelin to move into 4th place. Prado, though, under attack from Vlaanderen. And the number 10 eventually went through in a 2nd, and then 4 laps later, he made the move on Thomas Covington to take over the lead with about 5 laps to go. In the closing stage of the race, Covington came under attack from the number 61 of Prado, but he did everything he could to defend that 2nd place. And in the end, though, it was a win for the 2nd time for Vlaanderen. Covington and Prado, your top 3. MXGP race 1, Jeffrey Herlings squeezed to the inside, but he still came out pretty good. He held a nice tight line, and his teammate, Tony Cairoli, crossed the Foxhole shot line for the 15th time. Handful of corners later, though, Jeffrey Herlings was through at the bottom of the 1st downhill. Took a nice inside line, and from there, he never looked back. Jorge Paulin fell, though, from 4th as he gave chase to Tony Cairoli and Tim Gajser as Todd Watts and Tommy Searle threw a few elbows as they battled over 13th. Valentin Guillot, good to see him back in form, but he was caught and passed by Roman Fevre as Tommy Searle put down the 777 of Evgeny Bobashev. Bobashev crashed from 12th place. 2 Yamahas, though, were on the charge. Roman Fevre found his way past the 259 of Glenn Coldenhoff to move into 8th place, but the fast-starting Alessandro Lupino, who held 5th position, was first caught and passed by Jorge Paulin, then Roman Fevre, but it was Jeffrey Herlings who took his 20th race win of the year from Cairoli and Gajser. MX2, race 2. And again, it was Jorge Prado from about 10 or 12 gates over from the left-hand side. 17 Foxhole shots now for the young Spaniard. He entered race 2, 2 points clear of his championship teammate, Paul Jonas. Jacobi, though, was throwing a few elbows again, and he had to keep Thomas Covington at bay, but Covington charged through. He jumped long into 2nd place, gave chase to Prado. Jonas was in 4th. He found his way past Thomas Olsen and then quickly past the 29 of Jacobi. Ben Watson, though, Khmer Yamaha, he crashed out spectacularly from 7th place, and that has put a serious dent in his 3rd place aspirations. Vlaanderen was on the charge once more. It took a few laps to get wound up, though, and he quickly started charging his way through the field. That move on Thomas Olsen, and this one on Jonas eventually happened, but Jonas made him work for it. From 5th to 4th to 3rd. Prado up front, though. That was the decisive move Vlaanderen put on Jonas. Jonas then lost out to Olsen in the closing stages, who eventually come home in 5th behind the 19. But Jorge Prado took victory for the 9th time in race 2 from Thomas Covington and Calvin Vlaanderen. Prado took the overall for the 7th time this year. Calvin Vlaanderen and Thomas Covington on the podium for the 5th time, but we have a new championship leader as we head to round 15. Jorge Prado now, the new championship leader for the first time this year, the first time in his career, the first time since June 2008, since Cairoli has had the championship leader's red plate.
I pushed hard. Covington came really close the last laps, and I knew I wanted to take the win here, and last year I lost this by a point of the podium, so happy with the red plate, and can't say much more. We'll see how it goes in London.
MXGP race 2. Herlings again got squeezed to the inside as Cairoli made it Foxhole shot number 16. Searle held a nice tight line through turn 1. but it was the number 77 of Alessandro Lupino who was the lead Kawasaki for Gavin Van Renroy. But before the end of the lap, again, Jeffrey Herlings struck early. Another decisive move down the inside of Cairoli. The two Yamahas, or three Yamahas actually, because Van Horbeke was just ahead of Fevre. Simpson was in the mix, so too was Ivo Monticelli. Monticelli made that move on Simpson. Simpson eventually came down in 14th place. Monticelli, despite his high status in the early stages of race 1, eventually faded back to 16th. Paul Lando under attack in 4th place. Van Horbeke went through for Monster Energy Yamaha, and in the same turn, Romain Fevre also put the Frenchman back a position. He was now in 6th for Rockstar Energy Husqvarna. And after a couple of laps of following his teammate Romain Fevre, made a move to go 4th. Van Horbeke was now in 5th. Tim Gajser was circulating all alone in 3rd for Team HRC as Evgeny Bobashev dishing it out to the 128 of Monticelli as he climbed to an eventual 12th place. Tony Cairoli didn't have the goods this weekend, still struggling with a thumb injury, picked up 2 weekends ago in Indonesia. And once again, it was Jeffrey Herlings. 21 race wins now in 2018. He took his 11th Grand Prix victory of the season with a pair of wins. Cairoli, a pair of seconds. Tim Gajser, a pair of thirds, his 5th visit to the podium. And Jeffrey Herlings now 30 points clear at the top of MXGP. Clement de Salle is 3rd, but he lost 8 points to Tim Gajser this weekend. The next round, though, heads to Lommel, round 5 in the sand. Who'd you put your money on there?
Yeah, definitely. With the beginning, I was a bit struggling to find my rhythm, but like after 10 minutes, I really got going, and I felt like I was in a good position. So, it was a good moto, to come out with 2 moto wins. It's been really good.